Hello and welcome to 1969 baseball. The Cubs are leading off a road trip with 4 games over the weekend in New York. We're going to travel to New York, Philadelphia, and that's going to be the road trip on the East Coast. And then we'll come home for 2 weeks of baseball after that. The Cubs are going to face the Mets for the first time this season. We are in Flushing and ready to start this game. Cubs coming in on a 3-game winning streak. And Bill Hands is going to be the starter for the Cubs today. He is coming out for start number 4, 1-1 with a 3.18 ERA. Cubs lineup looks like it's going to be pretty standard. Kessinger, Phillips, Williams, Santo, Hundley, Blomberg, Banks, Beckert, and Hands. The Mets are sending Gary Gentry out the mound, making start number 4, 1-2 with a 6.04 ERA. And the Mets lineup will be A.G., Otis, Szymanski, Cleon Jones, Bud Harrelson, McFarland, Tracy, File, and Gentry batting 9th. It is 50 degrees, the wind blowing in from left at 11 mph. And it looks like it is time to get this game underway. We're not going to do anything too crazy with the lineups today. This is the first game of 4. We got a single game on Friday, single game on Saturday, and a Sunday doubleheader here in New York. So, Gary Gentry is out on the mound facing Don Kessinger to lead off the game. The Cubs coming in at 6-11, and the Mets at 7-10. So the Cubs have a chance to pass the Mets in the standings in this 4-game series. Now, Gary Gentry is on the mound, looking for the sign, and we have the first pitch to Kessinger, and he pops that one up to left. Looks like they've got a play on it as Jones makes the catch for the first out of the inning. And now Adolfo Phillips will bat with 1 out and nobody on. Here is a full count pitch to Adolfo Phillips. And a liner into short center field that's going to drop in for a blooper of a base hit. So Phillips is safe on first with a single. It'll bring up Billy Williams with 1 out, 1 man on. Gentry facing Williams. 1 ball count. Phillips on first. Here's the pitch. And a drive deep left field. I think Billy Williams might have gotten all of that one. Oh, the catch is made on the warning track right in front of the wall. Man, Billy Williams certainly gave that one a ride. But right in front of the wall, Cleon Jones makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Ron Santo, the hero of yesterday's ball game, steps up. He hit the go-ahead home run in the bottom of the 7th inning yesterday. He will face Gentry with runners still on first and 2 outs. Here's the first pitch, and he drives that one in the gap in right center field. That is going to go all the way to the wall. Santo will have extra bases. He's cruising out around first with a stand-up double. So a 2-out double. Phillips advances to third. Oh, and they counted that as an error. They counted that as an error on Otis out in right field. That looked like it was off the wall, but apparently they're saying it was in his glove and popped back out. So that's interesting. Anyway, Hundley is now the batter. Santo is not credited with a double, but rather with reaching on an error. Phillips still on third. Cubs trying to score the first run here in the top of the first inning. 2-2 count to Hundley. And he takes strike 3 looking. That was a fastball, and Hundley could not pull the trigger. So now, we go to the bottom of the first, and Bill Hands is going to pitch for the Cubs in a 0-0 game. Hands is facing Tommy A.G. with a 2-strike count. Hands looking for the sign. And here's the pitch. Popped up to left. Coming in is Billy Williams. He is under it, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Otis now the batter. Probably looking to make up for that error that was in right field in the top of the first inning. Here's a 1-strike count. And Amos Otis waiting for the pitch. Grounder towards second. Picked up and thrown over to first, and that is out number 2. Szymanski now the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. Art Szymanski facing off against Bill Hands with a 2-2 count. Let's see what the pitch is here. And a grounder towards second. Beckert picks it up again, throws to first, and that will end the inning. So, Bill Hands faces the minimum. We're going to the top of the second of a 0-0 ball game. Gentry facing Blomberg. Here in the top of the second. Full count. Blomberg waiting for the pitch. And a drive into left. This time, the catch is made. Jones with another amazing catch. This time colliding with the wall out in left to make the catch. He ran into that wall full speed, and he recorded the out. So Ernie Banks is the batter. Willie Smith is the backup. And Willie Banks isn't coming along for 20 more years. So Ernie Banks facing off against Gentry with 1 out, 1-2 count. Banks waiting for the pitch. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Ernie Banks strikes out swinging. Bringing up Glenn Beckert. 2 outs and nobody on. Gentry with the pitch. And a liner right up the middle. That's a base hit. Good thing Gentry ducked because that went directly over the rubber. So a 2-out single for Beckert. And that brings up the pitcher, Bill Hands. 2 outs, 1 man on. 3-0 count. And that's ball 4. So the pitcher walks the other pitcher on 4 straight pitchers. And now we're going to see Don Kessinger batting with 2 outs and 2 men on. Cubs threatening here again in the second. 0-2 pitch to Kessinger. And he pops that one up to right. Going to be caught by the man with 2 first names, Amos Otis. And that will end the inning. We're going to the bottom of the second of a 0-0 ball game. Jones facing Hands here in the bottom of the second. 1-2 count. Hands with the pitch. Liner past the shortstop into center field. That'll be a leadoff single. So Cleon Jones is on first, and now Harrelson is the batter with nobody out, 1 man on. Here's an 0-2 count. Harrelson waiting for the pitch. And a grounder out in front of the plate. Hundley has it, throws down to second, but there's no relay to first. So they get the first out on the lead runner, and now McFarland is the batter. 1 out, 1 man on. Hands facing McFarland. And the runner goes. The throw goes down to second. Hundley's throw, however, is late, and Harrelson has his 4th stolen base of the season. McFarland now the batter. 1 out, 1 man on. 1 ball count. Here's the pitch. Popped up. Short left field. The shortstop going out. Kessinger makes the catch, and that is out number 2. Tracy now the batter with 2 outs. Runner still on second. 1 ball count. And a balk is the call. So the umpire sends the runner down to third. Hands wants an explanation as to what just happened. However, Tracy is going to continue to bat now with the go-ahead run 90 feet away. Here's a 3-0 pitch. Way inside for ball 4. So Hands issues the walk. And now File is the batter with 2 outs. Runners on the corners. 1 ball count. Hands working out of the jam. Here we go. Grounder back to the mound. Hands picks it up with his bare hand. Throws it over to first, and that will end the inning. We're going to the top of the third. It is a 0-0 ball game. Gary Gentry continuing to pitch for the Mets, facing Adolfo Phillips here in the top of the third inning. 1-1 count. Phillips waiting for the pitch. Popped up center field. Gonna be playable. Heading back toward the warning track. And AG makes the catch for out number 1. Billy Williams now batting. 1 out and nobody on. Here's a full count pitch to Billy Williams. And Williams takes ball 4 outside. Good eye there by Billy Williams to draw the walk. Bringing up Ron Santo with 1 out and 1 man on. Here is the first pitch to Santo, and it's popped up. Left center. Coming over is AG, and he calls off the left fielder to make the catch for out number 2. Randy Hundley now the batter with 2 outs. Runner still on first. Here's a 1-1 count. And a pop up to right. Again, going toward the line, but getting under it is the right fielder, Amos Otis, making the catch for out number 3. So the Cubs stranding a runner. We're going to the bottom of the third of a 0-0 ball game. Gary Gentry facing it off against Bill Hands here in the bottom of the third. Hands with the first pitch. And a grounder toward third. Santo picks it up, throws over to first. That is out number 1. AG now the batter with 1 out, nobody on. Here's a 2-2 pitch from Bill Hands. And a drive to right, going back toward the warning track. I think he's going to run out of room. That is a solo home run, and the Mets have a 1-0 lead, 379 feet off the bat of Tommy Agee. So, Hands now facing Amos Otis with 1 out and nobody on. Here's the first pitch to Amos Otis, and a grounder to second. Beckert has it, throws to Banks. 4-3 is the putout for out number 2. Shamsky now the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. Here's a 1-ball count. Shamsky waiting for the pitch. Liner into right. Blomberg on the run, making the catch. That is out number 3. So the Mets score a run. They take a 1-0 lead into the top of the 4th inning. Gentry facing Blomberg. Top of the 4th, 1 strike count. Here's the pitch. Grounder toward third. Hot shot. Thrown over to first, and that is going to be out number 1. Ernie Banks now the batter. 1 out and nobody on. Here's a 2-2 pitch to Ernie Banks. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Ernie Banks takes the strikeout. That's number 3 on the day for Gentry, and now he'll face Beckert with 2 outs and nobody on. 1 strike pitch to Glenn Beckert. And a pop-up on the infield. The shortstop is coming in near the mound. He's going to make the catch to end the inning. So, Cubs retired 1-2-3 in the 4th. We're going to the bottom of the 4th inning of a 1-0 ball game. Cleon Jones leading off against Bill Hands here in the bottom of the 4th. 2-2 count. Hands with the pitch. And a drive into left. That's going to drop in for a base hit. So a leadoff single for Cleon Jones, and that'll bring up Bud Harrelson. Nobody out. Runner on first. Harrelson facing Jones with a 2-1 count. And the pitch. Grounder to first. Banks over to Kessinger. Back to Banks. Oh, but the throw is late on the relay. Cubs try to turn the 3-6-3 double play, but the relay throw is just a hair late, and the runner Harrelson is called safe. So 1 out, runner on first now. McFarland the batter, facing Hands. 2-1 count. Here is the pitch. And a grounder towards second. Beckert. It's directly over to Banks this time. They do not try to get the speedy Harrelson down at second. So now it is 2 outs, runner in scoring position, and Jack Tracy is the batter. Bottom of the 4th inning, 2 strike count. Hands working. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and Hands sets him down with a slider to end the inning. We're going to the top of the 5th inning. It is 1-0 New York. Hands going to lead off against Gentry here in the top of the 5th inning. 1-2 count. Hands waiting for the pitch. Check swing, strike 3. Home plate umpire makes the call and sends Hands back to the dugout. And Kessinger now the batter. 1 out, nobody on. Kessinger 0 for 2 today. Waiting for the 1-ball pitch from Gentry. And a liner up the middle. That'll be a 1-out single for Don Kessinger as he makes a big wide turn but ultimately decides to retreat to the base. 3rd hit of the ball game for the Cubs, bringing up Adolfo Phillips. He is 1 for 2 today. With 1 out, 1 man on. First pitch to Adolfo Phillips, and a drive into left. That's going to be another base hit as that drops in front of the left fielder. Cubs with back-to-back singles here in the top of the 5th inning with 1 out, and it brings up Billy Williams. So is Kessinger relatively speedy? He's kind of speedy. We're going to see if there is a situation here where we can potentially pull off a double steal. Here's the first pitch. It's outside. Yeah, they were looking. That was a fastball outside. That was a pitch out. So now that they've thrown the pitch out, I feel like we can try the double steal. Let's see what happens. Kessinger and Phillips. 1-ball count. And there's the pitch. The throw goes down to third, and both runners are safe. So a double steal for the Cubs here. And that will prompt the Mets to bring in the infield. And now Billy Williams batting with 2 runners in scoring position and 1 out. Here's a 1-2 count. And Williams swings and misses for strike 3. So Billy Williams goes down. That is the 5th strikeout of the game for Gary Gentry. But it brings up Ron Santo. With 2 outs, 2 men on. First pitch to Ron Santo. And a liner past the third baseman into left field. The tying run is going to score. Another run comes home. And that throw gets away. So both runs are going to score. I don't know if they're going to call that an error. Yes, McFarland is charged with the error. And the Cubs now have a 2-run lead, or a 2-1 lead, off of the double from Ron Santo. Randy Hundley now the batter. I'm glad that double steal paid off. So Randy Hundley batting with Santo on second and 2 outs. Here's a 3-1 pitch, and Hundley takes ball 4. He heads down to first. So the Cubs will not be trying a double steal with Santo and Hundley. They're considerably slower than the first pair that we had, Kessinger and Phillips on base. So Blomberg now is the batter with 2 outs, 2 men on, 1-2 count to Blomberg. And he grounds it over to first, picked up, stepping on the base to end the inning. The Cubs score twice, taking a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the 5th inning. And now Hands brought out to face File, protecting the 1-run lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here's a 1-ball count, and Hands with the pitch. And a grounder to second. Beckert has it. Throws over to Banks. That is out number 1. Gentry now the batter with 1 out, nobody on. 0-2 pitch to Gentry. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and Hands sets him down with the slider. Bringing up Tommy Agee with 2 outs, nobody on. Cubs up by 1. 0-2 pitch from Bill Hands. Gonna give him a slider here. Let's see what he comes. And that one gets away. It was a slider, but it got away from Hundley. He had to throw down to first to record the strikeout. So the Mets are retired in order. We're going to the top of the 6th of a 2-1 ball game. Ernie Banks going to lead off against Gary Gentry here in the top of the 6th inning. 1-ball count. Banks pops it up to left. Cleon Jones heading over, and it looks like he will be in position to make that catch for out number 1. Glenn Beckert now the batter, 1 out and nobody on. Gentry facing Beckert with a 1-ball count. And a liner into center. Is that going to drop in for base hit? No, it goes over the center fielder's head. Oh, he was coming in, and that got over his head. That's going to be a double for Beckert on the miscue. I don't think that will be considered an error, but man, bad defense by the Mets in this game. Bill Hands, the pitcher, is now the batter. He is going to be asked to lay down a sacrifice, and he offers but misses at the first pitch. Going to try again with a 1-strike count, and he bunts it down the third baseline. That was perfectly placed. There was no one to cover third, so Beckert easily advances, and now Hands has a 3rd sacrifice of the season. Kessinger batting with 2 outs and runner on third. Here's the first pitch to Kessinger, and he grounds that one over to first. Picked up, stepping on the base is the first baseman Shamsky, and that will end the inning. So the Cubs strand a runner. We're going to the bottom of the 6th of a 2-1 ball game. Amos Otis facing Bill Hands here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Hands with the first pitch. Otis waiting. And here's the pitch. Liner past third base into left field. That will be a lead-off single for Amos Otis. And he is standing on first, bringing up Art Shamsky. Nobody out. 1 man on. 2-2 pitch from Hands. And a pop-up to left. Williams heading to his left. Going to run a long way and make that catch in left center field for out number 1. Cleon Jones now the batter. 2 for 2 today. Facing off against Hands for the 3rd time. Here is the first pitch from Bill Hands. And a drive down the left field line. I believe that's going to drop in for another base hit. Williams cuts it off so it doesn't roll all the way to the wall. And now the Mets have 2 runners on with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Harrelson facing Hands with 1 out. Runners on first and second. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. Hands gets him with the slider. That's been his go-to pitch in those 2-strike situations today. 2 outs in the inning, 4 strikeouts in the game for Bill Hands. And next up is McFarland with 2 outs and a 2-2 count. And a swing and a miss on the sinker for strike 3. So the Mets strand 2. They do not score. We're going to the top of the 7th of a 2-1 ball game. Adolfo Phillips leading off against Gary Gentry here in the top of the 7th inning. 2-2 count. Gentry looking for the sign and the pitch. And a swing and a miss by Phillips for strike 3, way out in front of that changeup. Strikeout number 6 for Gentry on the day. And it will bring up Billy Williams. 1 out, nobody on. 0-2 pitch to Billy Williams. And here it comes. And a drive into the gap in left center field. Is that one going to get down? Yes, it does. It's actually high off the wall. Williams cruising into second, sliding in with a double. So a 1-out extra base hit for the Cubs. Billy Williams is on second. And that'll bring up Ron Santo. Santo 1 for 3 with the 2 RBIs earlier in the game. Here's a 2-1 pitch. And he is going to be intentionally walked. Santo heads down to first, and it brings up Randy Hundley. The Mets trying to set up the double play here in the top of the 7th inning. Hundley waiting for the first pitch from Gentry. And a drive to deep right field. I think this is going to stay in play as Hundley flies out for the second out of the inning. The runners are not able to tag up in advance. That'll bring up Blomberg with 2 outs and 2 men on. Blomberg facing Gentry. He is 0 for 3 on the day. 2-0 pitch. Gentry working. And a drive into center field. Is that going to get down? Yes, it does. That's a base hit. Rounding third and heading home is Billy Williams, and he is going to be safe. So the Cubs now have a 3-1 lead on the Blomberg RBI single. Ernie Banks now the batter. 2 outs, 2 men on. Cubs looking for some more insurance runs here in the top of the 7th inning. Santo on second, Blomberg on first. And the first pitch to Ernie Banks. And that's driven deep to left. However, that's going to stay on the field of play. The left fielder makes the catch short of the warning track to end the inning. 7th inning stretch time here in New York. We're going to the bottom of the 7th of a 3-1 Cub lead. Bill Hands working in the bottom of the 7th, facing off against Jack Tracy to leading off for the Mets. Hands will face the 7, 8, and 9 batters in the Met lineup in the bottom of the 7th. Here's a 2-2 count, and Hands with the pitch. And a grounder toward third. Santo picks up the hot smash, throws it over to first. That is out number 1. File now the batter. 1 out, nobody on. Here's a 1-2 pitch to File. And he swings and misses for strike 3. That's a punch out for Hands. Strikeout number 6 on the day for him. And now he's going to face his opposing pitcher, Gary Gentry. 2-2 count. Looking for the slider here with 2 strikes. And a grounder toward third. And it's past a diving Santo in down the left field line. This is going to be extra bases for Gary Gentry. Man, I think that was a slider that got hung right there. Or a sinker that stayed up maybe. So Hands gives up the 2-out extra base hit, and it brings up Tommy Agee in the top of the Mets lineup. Bottom of the 7th inning, Cubs up by 2. Here's a 1-ball pitch as Agee standing in at the plate. And there's a drive into right field. Going back is Blomberg, and he makes the catch with his back to the infield and end the inning. So the Mets get a base runner. They do not score. We're going to the top of the 8th of a 3-1 ball game. And I believe that we're going to be warming up a pinch hitter. Hands has thrown 7 really, really strong innings today. However, we are going to see Archie Reynolds warmed up because Hands is due up second in this inning. He's not going to be allowed to bat for himself. Gentry is going to face Beckert here in the top of the 8th with a 1-2 count. Gentry delivering strike 3 on the outside corner. So Gentry gets his 7th strikeout of the day. And now Hands' day is going to be over. Yeah, he's thrown 95 pitches, which is fine. But he got hit pretty hard in that last half inning. So we're going to go to the reliever. In the short term, we're going to send a pinch hitter up, which is going to be Willie Smith for the pitcher's spot. Smith coming up to face Gentry. He is 3 for 20 on the season. First pitch to Willie Smith. Here it comes. And a drive, left field, going back toward the wall. And that is gone. Willie Smith with the pinch hit home run to the opposite field gives the Cubs a 4-1 lead in the top of the 8th inning. 411 feet out to left field. And now Kessinger is the batter. With 1 run in, 1 out, top of the 8th inning, 1-ball count, Kessinger waiting for the pitch. And a drive, center field. Coming in is the center fielder, Agee, and he makes the catch for out number 2. Adolfo Phillips now the batter with 2 outs. Bases are empty. Here is the first pitch to Adolfo Phillips. And a drive into center field. That one's going to find the gap and go all the way to the wall. Phillips rounding first, heading for second. He's going to have extra bases. He's actually rounding second, and oh no, he's going to stop. I thought for a moment he was going to try for a triple. But Agee got the ball back in quickly, and the third base coach put up the stop sign. So now Billy Williams comes up with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position here in the top of the 8th inning. Here is the first pitch to Billy Williams, and a looper into right field. I think that's going to drop in for a base hit. Phillips rounding third and heading home. The throw comes home, and he is out. So aggressive base running this time runs the Cubs out of the inning. Williams is credited with a base hit. The Cubs score once. They strand one. We're going to the bottom of the 8th of a 4-1 ball game. Now, for the Cubs lineup, what we are going to see is that Archie Reynolds will be brought in the number 9 spot, and he is going to be asked to pitch potentially the 8th and 9th innings. We'll see how this goes. Reynolds has thrown 11 innings so far this season, allowed 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, and a 5.73 ERA. He'll face Amos Otis to lead off the Mets half of the 8th inning. 1 ball count. Reynolds looking for the sign. And here's the pitch. Drive into left center field. I think he got all that one. Kiss it goodbye. So the Mets get one back. 441 feet out to left center field. And now this is a 4-2 ball game. Well, hopefully Reynolds got that out of his system, and he can record a couple of outs now. We're still in the bottom of the 8th inning. Cubs up by 2. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Art Shamsky. And a grounder in front of the plate. Hundley picks it up, throws down to first. That is out number 1. Cleon Jones now the batter. 1 out, nobody on. 2-2 pitch to Cleon Jones. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. Big curveball right there. And he gets him swinging to bring up Bud Harrelson. With 2 outs and nobody on base, 2-strike count and the pitch to Harrelson. And strike 3 is called with the changeup. So Reynolds retires the side in order after allowing the leadoff home run. We're going to the top of the 9th of a 4-2 ball game. Ron Santo going to lead off against Gentry here in the top of the 9th. 2-strike count. Santo standing in, waiting for the pitch. And a drive left field. That might be, it's going to be very deep, and it is gone. Santo has hit home runs in back-to-back games, 387 feet out to left field. And the Cubs have taken now a 5-2 lead. Randy Hundley, the next batter. He's going to face Gentry in the top of the 9th inning with a full count. Gentry waiting. Here's the pitch. There's a liner over the second baseman's head into right center field, so a single for Hundley. And now the Mets will bring in a reliever. Cal Kuntz is brought in out of the bullpen. He has thrown 3 innings, allowed 1 earned run, struck out 3, and has an ERA of 3. And he will face the lefty Blomberg here in the top of the 9th. There's nobody out. Hundley on first. Cubs working on adding some insurance runs here. A 1-strike count. And the pitch. And a looper into center field. Is that going to drop? No. The shortstop's going to go out and make that catch. That is out number 1. Ernie Banks now the batter. 1 out. 1 man on. 1-1 count to Ernie Banks. Here's the pitch. A pop up to center. Coming in as the center fielder, Agee. And he makes the catch for out number 2. Beckert now the batter. 2 outs. 1 man on. 1-strike pitch to Glenn Beckert. And a grounder toward third, picked up and thrown over to first, and that is going to end the inning. The Cubs score again on the Santo home run. We're going to the bottom of the 9th of a 5-2 game. Reynolds is going to be asked to close out this game. He is going to face the 6, 7, and 8 batters in the Met lineup here in the bottom of the 9th inning. A 1-2 count. Reynolds working. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Got him to chase a fastball that was outside. And now Tracy is the batter with 1 out, nobody on. 1-1 pitch to Jack Tracy. And a grounder to short. Kessinger has it, throws over to first. That is out number 2. The Mets down to their final out, sending Bobby File up to the plate. He is 0 for 3 on the day. 1 ball count. Here's the pitch. A liner down the third base line. That's going to be extra bases. His first hit of the ball game is going to be a double as he slides into second safely. So the Mets, with a runner in scoring position and 2 out, here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And this will bring up a pinch hitter, Larry Fritz, for the pitcher's spot. Fritz is 1 for 8 on the season. He's coming up with 2 outs, 1 man on, and a 1-2 count. And strike 3 is called to end the inning. So 4 strikeouts on the day as Reynolds earns the save. That's his first of the season. The Cubs get 5 runs on 13 hits with no errors. The Mets, 2 runs on 8 hits with 2 errors. And the Cubs player of the game is Bill Hands. He goes to 2-1 on the season. He threw 7 innings of 6-hit, 1-run baseball with 1 walk and 6 strikeouts. Both of the Met runs were actually scored on solo home runs. Reynolds gets his first save of the season. He worked 2 innings, allowed 1 run, and struck out 4. And the Cubs' offensive player of the game is going to today be Ron Santo. 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs, a 3rd home run of the season hit, and a run scored. So the Cubs have won 4 straight now. They are pulled even with the Mets at 7-11. Thank you for watching Cubs Baseball.